so that they could stop, finding reasons. Once again, I mentioned all of the different reasons earlier on why they've been getting killed. Black people have been getting killed in the streets. On how we can stop that, like right now. And I know probably it's probably not going to happen, but I'm trying to think of something faster. Bottom line to that, St. Louis, Ron. But I appreciated the comments on the post on Facebook. So ESPN has a little Heisman tally type thing, votes. They have like a series of experts come together and vote on who they would vote for the Heisman right now, and they have a little order. And clearly, I mean, just with pretty much all the first place votes, he's got 9 out of 10 first place votes is Lamar Jackson. And total votes, I guess they have some secondary type votes that count as well. He's got 49 total votes, so says the Puppet Factory, ESPN. But so bottom line is he's far and away ahead of anybody else for the Heisman. The next closest is Christian McCaffrey out at Stanford with 40 votes. But Lamar Jackson has 9 first-place votes, and Christian McCaffrey has 1. J.T. Barrett follows them up. Then they've got this kid, Donnell Pumphrey, running back from San Diego State. He's not going to win no damn Heisman. You got that West Coast bias or East Coast bias working against him right now, and he plays for San Diego State. I mean, he's going to have to run for like 3,000 yards to get the Heisman over Lamar Jackson or Christian McCaffrey, who daddy played in the NFL forever. Then they've got Greg Ward Jr., Jabril Peppers, linebacker from Michigan. Ain't no defensive player going to win it. If Hugh Green didn't win it, you damn sure ain't going to win it. Patrick Mahomes the second, quarterback from Texas Tech. Deshaun Watson has dropped all the way down to 7th, I think this is. Quarterback for Clemson, which I think that's bogus. And Nick Chubb is the last guy they're showing their little poll. Now, listen, I remember the thing about this that kind of struck me when I first saw it. This thing is so far, in the category of Lamar Jackson that's not even funny. You know what, though? I felt exactly like this last year with Leonard Fournette. And the list that I just read, Leonard Fournette's not even on this list. Think about how you looked at the Heisman Trophy last year after, say, like week 4 or 5. Think about it. Like, Leonard Fournette was the clear runaway Heisman Trophy winner last year, but then they ran up against Alabama, and then he didn't win the Heisman. Yeah, he didn't win the Heisman. Like, if somebody would have said, man, how much you will bet if I had liquid cash, $1 million and nothing else, that's all I had to my name. After week 4 or 5 last year, man, I would have put it all on Leonard Fournette. I mean, all. And he didn't win it, man. So these things can change overnight. Now, based on what I've seen out of Lamar Jackson, and knowing that his coach is Bobby Petrino, who's this, like, offensive quarterback, whisperer type guru dude with that side of the ball, like, I don't see anybody stopping them, knock on wood, unless this kid gets hurt. Like, they're going to put up these same numbers every week. Florida State has some of the most talented players in football, and they made them look silly. Just forget what they did against Syracuse and against Charlotte or whatever. That don't even count. Against Florida State, they made those boys on defense look like JV players. So I don't see that changing. Maybe they're getting some shootouts. Maybe some teams score a lot of points in their defense, but their defense plays stout as hell. And it has been playing stout as hell over the first couple of weeks. So we'll keep our eyes on that, but you got to kind of slow your roll a little bit because this same thing went down last year after the first 3, 4, 5 games where Leonard Fournette was a clear winner. He was going to win, and then he didn't. So we'll keep our eyes on that, man. Right now, Lamar Jackson, 5 touchdowns, 362 yards, and a 63-20 demolition of ACC heavyweight Florida State. Jackson has 18 total touchdowns this season, more than 118 FBS schools. What? You got to be kidding me, man. Christian McCaffrey, who they have at number 2 in this list, He ended up with 260 all-purpose yards and 2 scores in a 27-10 win over USC, and is the only Heisman finalist from 2015 on the list this week. He leads the nation in all-purpose yards, averaging 235 yards per game. I just don't think that's enough. I mean, clearly, based on the first-place votes I just talked about, he's behind. One quick basketball note. The over-under benchmark for regular season wins for each NBA team for the 2016-17 season is determined by Westgate Superbook in Las Vegas. You know, they start training camps this week in the NBA, I believe. Golden State right now is projected to win. They're asking for the over and under. The over and under for Golden State is 66.5 games. Did you hear me? 66.5 games. At the very bottom, on the other end of the spectrum, is Brooklyn. The Nets are expected to win about 20 games. Some other interesting odds right behind Golden State is the Cleveland Cavaliers, 10 games less. You know, Golden State was 66.5. Cleveland is 56.5. So clearly, Vegas and basketball experts believe that Golden State is just going to dominate this year. The San Antonio Spurs still follow Cleveland at number 3. No Tim Duncan this year. That's going to be an interesting look. And the Atlanta Hawks, over and under for Atlanta this year is 43.5 games. You know, we got Dwight Howard this year, and we'll see what's going to happen with that. And lastly, man, my Los Angeles Lakers, one spot ahead of the Brooklyn Nets. They're expecting the Lakers to win 24 games this year. That's not going to happen. That's a lie. We're going to win more games than that this year. We are going to win more games than that this year. The Lakers are going to win more than 24 games this year. Book it. Put your money on it. What's the 24.5 is the over-under? I'm putting some money, a couple of dollars, $50, on the Lakers winning more than 24 games this year. Okay? Book it. From Clay, must be two sides, Davis in the chat room on Spreaker.com. He says, I'm not trying to sound like a hater, but when was the last time a Heisman candidate leader in September won the trophy in December? It's a good question. I don't know. I have to sit back and think of it and look at the last couple of winners. I don't know if you qualified as leaders or not, but a couple of the Heismans I can think of, Derrick Henry, Mark Ingram, when they won the Heisman Trophy, they weren't really talked about at all. You know, I can't remember them being the front runner in those particular years or not. It seems like that everybody was kind of bunched in one pack. There wasn't a clear-cut favorite over another. I don't know. I'd have to go back and look at it. From that ninja in the chat room on Spreaker.com, just a side note, if we're going to go the legal route and try to get change through the system, keep in mind that from the time slavery was abolished till the time we got the right to vote was 100 years. You can expect the same timeline for something like this. Oh, boy. Really, really know how to dampen a brother's mood, Ninja. With facts. Appreciate it. Here I am, got all these grandiose ideas of immediate impact and immediate change, and you just remind a brother it took 100 years for us to get the right to vote. Thanks, Ninja. Thanks, Ninja. Thank you. Appreciate that, bro. Rel Scott, 25 games, maybe. Hashtag Lakers. From Brian Hill, Fruit Doug. I don't know. He's talking about, what about Fruit? From Clay, must be the sides, Davis. So Adrian Peterson is to have surgery on Thursday and could miss up to 3 to 4 months. Wow, that's terrible. From Loose Neck Side, put some apples on it, Doug. What, on the Lakers winning more than 24.5 games? Yeah, I'll put some apples on it. I'll bet $1 that the Lakers will win more than 24.5 games. Ah, damn, Loose Neck Side. Who is that in your avatar? Once again, today is Women Wednesday. We got to talk about some women's basketball here in a second, the WNBA. But if you change your avatar today in honor of Women's Wednesday, make sure you email those to me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. I can't see them. My eyes are bad. I'm old. My blood pressure is up a little bit. So just email them to me so that I can see them and just inspect them for research purposes. That's all. Okay? Just please. Thank you. Let's see. What was that all about, Walter? From Clay Must Be Two Sides Davis, or I just read that one. From Sidney Jackson, Ninja Right. They will look at the video and see what they want to say. I've seen folks make excuses saying Terrence was reaching in his truck, which the video clearly shows the window were up. So Sidney Jackson must have came into the chat late or listened to the show late. I mentioned this earlier, that Benjamin Crump, the attorney for Terrence Crutcher, or is already a spokesman for the Crutcher family, has a still photo from the video from the helicopter that shows that the window was up. So what are they going to say now? They're going to say something. The defense for the police, for this officer, is going to say something. They're not just going to, I don't think it's ever going to happen in our lifetime where an officer kills an innocent person in cold blood and they say, yeah, you did it. I committed murder. It was a mistake. It was, I was wrong. It was bad. Go ahead and do what you will. I throw myself on the mercy of the court. That ain't going to happen. Now, the only option, the only explanation that they could have had, theoretically, was, he was reaching in the car for a gun. We thought he was reaching for a gun, so we killed him. The window was up. So what y'all gonna say now? But they gonna say something. They gonna say something. I mean, they're gonna say something. I don't know what it could be. I have no clue at this point based on what we know, what we saw, and the fact that that window was up. I don't know what they can say, but they are going to say something. They're going to give some type of explanation on why they killed this man like a dog. Right. They're going to. And that's a shame. And that's a shame. For a football analogy, there's been several cases in the NFL where a player was accused or charged for something or whatever, and the players union, basically don't take up his battle. They don't want to represent him in a dispute or an appeal of a sanction or a penalty from the NFL because the details and the facts are just too evident. Yeah, you're guilty. But they're going to say something about this. It's not going to be the case for this particular situation. They're not. No. It seems like the only thing that you could say for this is, I made a mistake. I'm wrong. I apologize. That's it. They're not going to go that route. Sadly, you know it. They are not going to go that route. This ninja did something to prompt us to kill his ass dead. That's going to be the argument. Whatever that may be, I don't know. But it's going to be something. This is why we killed him like an animal. And it's going to be bullshit. It's going to be a lie. And it's going to be bullshit. WNBA talk when we get back from the break. Kind of, sort of. Don't go away.
The sleeper pick, the guy only you believe in. In 1 week fantasy football on DraftKings, he can be the difference. So trust your gut. Trust your numbers. Trust your Uncle Vito if you want. But know this, that sleeper is out there. The question is, who's going to play him? This is DraftKings. Welcome to the big time.
To create your account, click on the banner link on thedougstewartshow.com or the Doug Stewart Show app. Do you have your own radio show? Are you an artist or a DJ? BB Mobile Apps is the solution for you. They specialize in creating mobile apps for entertainers. That's right. You can have your own mobile app where your followers can hear your shows or music, watch your videos, and view all your social networks in one place. You can even make money with banner ads and send push notifications directly to your audience to make sure they get your messages. Everyone has their phones on them, right? A mobile app will add credibility